Peter, tell me some of the stories that you might have that really have just drawn tears. Tell me something that you've seen that's just been incredible.
Well, as I said, the people who I'm thinking of two 15 and 16-year-old sisters who have lived in Atlanta since they were tiny little babies, and they're pure American girls, and they would not be able to function. Yeah, I think Spanish is their second language at this point. You know, they spoke high school girl English, and they dressed high school girl. The woman who's a paralegal in Chicago and dressed in a suit and low heels. I mean, she doesn't have any other life besides her big city life in Chicago, and she's stuck here on the border. But a heartwarming story was the family who tried to cross, and they were broken up into two groups, and their 15-year-old son went ahead in the first group, and the second group held back, and they watched. And sure enough, the first group got busted, and they split and separated, but they got caught. So the second group ran back. Well, they said our 15-year-old boy is in custody, and we call up and we say, we're looking for a 15-year-old boy. No, we don't have him. No. Well, we're pretty sure he was picked up. Well, try again in 24 hours. We're processing. We have a lot of people here. 24 hours later, no, we don't have this boy. He's not in custody. So we're beginning to get scared here. Maybe he ran away in the desert and got lost. Maybe he escaped, and maybe he fell off a barranca, or maybe he got bit by a rattlesnake or something. Or maybe somebody up in Palominas has found him and has taken him in, and he's okay. You know, but how can we find? Well, the family came back every day, and they finally checked hospitals, they checked prisons. It turned out that the boy was somewhat handicapped mentally, and was not able to speak for himself effectively. And it turns out that somehow La Migra decided that he was a Guatemalan, and he was on a plane up in Phoenix waiting to be flown to Guatemala City when they somehow put this all together. So this is like 8 days later, and the family has just about given up hope, you know. And I'm standing outside here, and I see the mother and the father, and they're walking real dejected towards us here because they check every day, and every day it's a negative. And I'm standing outside, and I get the call, "Hi, this is Raul at the council. We found the boy. We found the boy." So, you know, I mean, she and I are dancing and hugging and crying out here in the street, you know. Sometimes when we can put families together, that's one of the most gratifying and moving things that happen to us here.
Young women coming here for help that have been raped.
I haven't seen too much of this, but we've been able to accomplish something that's very effective. As I say, we have a sort of a two-way relationship with the Border Patrol and the Mexican consulate, and that's one of the things that we consider a victory, is that single women, solo women, are no longer returned after dark to any of these border cities. And they used to be. And they used to be. Yes, I mean, we have not had an abuse situation where a Border Patrol agent is abusing. We do have situations where unknown persons here on the Mexican side, who may or may not be connected to the coyotes, it's a little hard to say, have abused people. Another situation that we get here that's very scary is extortion. We had our telephone stolen here at one point, and immediately some of the numbers that were on our phone began to get calls saying, "We have your son here. We're holding your son here." And they're just a shot in the dark, but it's an extortion ploy that has worked actually. And we actually were part of a sting operation here to try to catch one of those people who thought he could somehow pick up money here and get away with it. Well, the local police wouldn't let him do that, you know, and that was a win-win situation. Now we're of course much more careful with our phone, and now we like erase all those numbers from our phone. We have no reason to have those numbers on there. We just weren't thinking, you know.
Peter, to finalize, I want to ask you, what message do you have for our immigrants in Phoenix, and what message do you have for the average American in Phoenix?
Your immigrant population is going to have to hold tough on this right now. And of course, this is a brave group of people who have always known that any day they could not come home from work. So they're going to have to hang tough. They're going to have to vote. We're a majority in an awful lot of areas here, and the Republican majority is not really a Republican majority, I sometimes think, you know. It's a bunch of rabid dogs that happen to vote. So, yeah, please vote, the immigrant community. I believe that the Obama administration's headed the wrong way right now. They are talking nothing but enforcement. And I'm real sad about that. I had hoped for better from the Obama administration. But of course, immigration reform will happen. It'll probably be a discouraging, disappointing mess like it always is. One thing have been thinking is that if ICE would actually do its job and continue the raids, everybody's saying no raids, stop the raids and everything like that, but if there are enough businesses get raided, the American business community is going to start saying, hey, you can't come in here like this and take our workers away. Please stop doing that. Well, I think that if there's enough pressure put on our business community, that they will go to bat for their workers. I think that's a turnaround I can see coming.
We're in Naco, Mexico. We're right at the corner of Calle Juarez and Francisco Madero in Naco, Mexico, right on this side of the border, and our wonderful country of Mexico, my native country. And we're just finishing an interview with Peter Young. Peter, thank you very much for that wonderful interview, that wonderful information that we're going to be able to use, that we're going to be able to share with our listeners, and that's going to inform people and give them an insight as to the great work that you're doing here in Naco, Arizona.
Well, Geraldo, thank you. I'm really glad you found me, and I'm really glad that I had a little bit of time to talk with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.